Happy Thursday, September 18th, 2025. My name is Zach Pasquarello, and in this video, I'm going to talk about bookkeeping pricing. How much should you really charge as an entrepreneur, self employed bookkeeper, business owner? How much should you really charge? It's really hard because there's really no playbook, handbook, SOP. There's no instruction manual. So, how much do you charge? How do you figure out how much to charge? Quoting new clients has to be one of the hardest parts about starting a bookkeeping business. So, I'm going to be going live for the next 1 hour. If you want to ask questions in the chat, I will do my best to answer everybody's questions throughout the video. And I just have to say, this video is sponsored by Zip Capital. I'm offering 8% up to 12% fixed returns to accredited investors. If you see behind me on the wall there, $1 million. That's how much money of other people's money I have raised in Zip Capital. Just hit $1 million, feeling super optimistic. My goal is to get to $5 million this year in 2025. So let's talk about bookkeeping. I run Harrisburg Bookkeeping. I have almost 80 bookkeeping clients, and I do almost all the work myself. I have one independent contractor. He does the books for 5 of my clients. I handle everybody else. I've grown my bookkeeping business over the past 5 years, started with 10 clients in the first year, and I've doubled literally every year since then, 10, 20, 40, 80. And now I just make these videos because I just love talking about it. And nobody else, my friends, my family, they don't want to hear me talk about my bookkeeping business all day, every day. But you guys, you all on YouTube seem to really love listening to my YouTube videos. So really appreciate it. I also have a podcast. I upload all of these videos onto my podcast. It's on Apple and Spotify. It's my name, Zach Pasquarello, bookkeeping expert. So check it out in the podcast if you want to listen to this while you're driving in the car or working out in the gym. All right, let's talk about it. How much should you really charge as a bookkeeper? Let me first by just telling you a story about what I did in the beginning, which would not necessarily recommend doing this. I took on a job, $25 per hour, and they needed about 10 hours per week. So about $1,000 per month. And let me just be honest. Let me tell you, I was thrilled to get this client. It was one of my very first clients, and they were a small business, but they were a bigger small business. It wasn't a solo entrepreneur, just a one show, one man owner operator. It was like a legit company. It was 2 partners and they had 10 employees, and their previous bookkeeper was moving on to something else. And so they needed me to come in and work 40 hours a month, 10 hours a week, but they were only paying 25 bucks an hour. But I was thrilled to get this job. Was it paying good? No. Did it provide some stability as a new entrepreneur, just quitting my full-time job? Absolutely. So it gave me some comfort. $1,000 a month, that's not bad. That's pretty good, especially if you're only trying to make $5,000 or $6,000 per month. You get one client to pay you $1,000 per month. Yeah, it's 25 bucks an hour, but still a great contract, a great client in the beginning. Here is an intangible benefit that you don't necessarily realize. There's more to it than just the money. You can get experience early on. You might get a client who doesn't pay you a ton of money, but the experience that you can get from working with that client could potentially be invaluable. I learned how to manage accounts payable by working with this client. They wanted me to pay their bills, and they already had a system in place. I just had to learn their system, and then I was able to implement that system with other clients, which was insanely beneficial. Hugely beneficial, because I could now do this for other people, and I could charge other people $500 a month, $1,000 a month to manage their accounts payable and do their bookkeeping. And I had no idea how to do it before, but I learned how to do it from this stable, small but big local company. So 25 bucks an hour, not a ton of money, but the experience that I gained was incredibly valuable. So how much should you really charge? I took on that client getting paid hourly. I would not recommend getting paid hourly because it makes you feel trapped. It makes you feel like an employee. It does not incentivize you to work efficiently. As a matter of fact, it incentivizes you to do the opposite, right? It incentivizes you to work slowly and to take your time, which is important as a bookkeeper. You want to be methodical and you don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to rush, but at the same time, you need to work efficiently because as an entrepreneur, you want to handle more work work more efficiently, spend less time per client so that you can take on more clients and get paid more money. So getting paid hourly, in my opinion, not the right strategy to go. So I see a few more people are joining in on this live. If you want to ask questions, go ahead and drop a question in the chat. I'm going to be going live for the next hour. I'm going to try to answer everybody's questions. So feel free to just drop and ask a ton of questions. And then once I'm done talking about how much you should charge, I'll go through all the questions. I promise you, if you've joined my previous lives, I really try to answer everybody's questions. So don't be bashful. Go ahead and ask all of your questions, leave some comments, and we'll get to it. But let's wrap this up. How much should you really charge? Don't charge hourly. It's tough though, because how do you know what you're going to do? How do you know how much to charge? So it all comes down to keeping your services very specific and very simple. So I don't do a ton of different things by design. I only do bookkeeping. I only record transactions, reconcile accounts, and generate financial reports. And I only do that inside of QuickBooks Online. So I only work with QuickBooks. I only do bookkeeping. Because of that, I keep my services very simple, and I'm able to understand how much time it's going to take me to work with a client. So here's what I do. I count up your transactions from the previous 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, doesn't matter. Count up a client's transactions. You can do that by getting invited to their QuickBooks, or you can do that by reviewing their bank statements and credit card statements, and then find out their average number of monthly transactions, and then multiply that number by $3, the magic $3. Now, don't tell your clients you're doing this, because they're going to start doing the math and they're going to be like, wait a minute, 20 transactions, $3 per, that's $60. Are you telling me it's going to take you I want to pay you $60 an hour in my mind. So you're going to tell me it's going to take you an hour to categorize 20 transactions? No, that's not the point. So don't tell your client your method of calculating their monthly bookkeeping fee. Don't tell them. Just let them know, like, hey, please send me your bank statements and credit card statements so that I can review. And if they ask questions, let them know. It all depends on the size and complexity of your business, the number of transactions, the type of transactions that you have. And I can only judge that by reviewing your QuickBooks or reviewing your bank statements and credit card statements. But in reality, all you're doing is just counting their number of transactions. So find out their average number of monthly transactions and multiply that by 3. Unless they want class tracking or project tracking, if they're a construction company or a real estate investor or a trucking company or a restaurant, and they want class tracking or project tracking, in that case, it's $4 per transaction. Or if they want you to match receipts to their QuickBooks transactions, that's also $4 per transaction. My minimum, $300 per month. My maximum that I've ever charged somebody, $2,500 per month. So I'd imagine most of your clients are going to be somewhere in between $300 and $2,500. 5-second coffee break. There is one other situation where it's a miscellaneous project. Somebody just wants help with something. In this example, I don't want to turn them down, because you never know, they might turn into a client eventually. So I still want to service them. I still want to do a good job for them. Here's what I would do. I would still give them a fixed rate. So I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you I charge $100 per hour. That's my hourly rate, $100 per hour for bookkeeping services. If you want me to do something miscellaneous, maybe they just need help with a 2024 reconciliation. That's fine. I can do that for you. I don't really have a good way of charging a fixed rate for that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to charge you $400 for the first 4 hours. And the key here, always get paid up front. Always get paid up front. So if you need me to do a miscellaneous project, 2024 reconciliation for one bank account, not sure how long it's going to take, but oh my goodness, I just can't figure it out. Keep in mind, these people are not paying you for your time. They're paying you for your solutions. My solution is that I solve your problems and I reconcile your accounts so that you can have accurate financial reports, so that you can file your taxes. My solution for you is so that you can file your taxes. And it goes deeper than that. My solution for you is that I can relieve your stress, and I can free up your time, and I can reduce your anxiety. When you start viewing your bookkeeping services through that frame of mind, all of a sudden, our bookkeeping services become incredibly valuable. freeing up time, reducing stress, and reducing anxiety. If you view genuinely, if you and I'm not, this is not a scam. I'm not lying, I'm not exaggerating. Like genuinely, if you can something as simple as reconciling a 2024 bank account, that can improve the accuracy of somebody's financial reports, thereby allowing them to accurately, timely file their taxes, thereby alleviating their stress. So you are quite literally reducing anxiety and alleviating stress just by reconciling a 2024 bank statement. So sorry, I got sidetracked. 2024 reconciliation, $100 per hour, $400 upfront. Now, here's the caveat. If I get this done in less time, there's still a $400 flat fee. But after 4 hours of troubleshooting and problem solving, if I'm not able to figure this out, I will have a better understanding of what is the problem. And then I will let you know how many more hours it's going to take. So it's almost like a retainer. You're getting paid upfront for 4 hours. There's no refunds if it takes you less time. If I solve your problem in less time, I'm not going to give you your money back because you still got the same end result. I was just able to work more efficiently. And secret just between you and me, I don't usually tell them. Like if it took me 4 minutes, I'm probably not going to tell them. I'm probably just going to be like, hey, I was able to fix this. Don't worry. I was able to do it in the 4 hours. I'm not going to charge you anything extra. I was able to fix this for you. Your 2024 bank statement is all reconciled. It's all about how you frame what you've done. Like, no worries, not going to charge you anything extra. Sounds a lot better than, hey, I got this done in 4 minutes. Thanks for the extra $390. You see what I'm saying? So it all depends on how you frame what you've done, how you worked, and what the next steps are for the business relationship. So miscellaneous projects, $100 per hour, bill up front, 4 hours. Try to get it done in less than 4 hours. If you can't, diagnose, figure out how much time it's going to take you, and then still bill up front. Last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to get to the questions. If anybody has any questions or comments, let me know in the chat, and I will do my best to answer everybody's questions. And then last thing I will say, I do have a course for sale. I have digital downloads. I have weekly meetings, private group meetings every Monday at 3 p.m. There's a ton of links in the description of this video. Definitely recommend check out my course. I've got a free course, a free mini course. I've got a full course. I've got digital downloads on my website, harrisburgbookkeeping.com/store. Check out all the links in the description. You know where to go. Last thing, cleanup projects. I still bill upfront. I just had a client need a 2024 cleanup and then 2025 ongoing bookkeeping. I quoted them $500 per month for 2024 and 2025. I started in September of 2025. So I charged them for 12 months and 9 months, and it was right around $10,000. And I charged them all up front. No gimmicks, no half and half and wait until I get done with the project. None of that. I'm not messing around. Because that's a lot of stress, because then you have to worry about them paying you. I never want to worry about people paying me. So everything is collected 100% upfront. I will get the job done. You will be satisfied. No issues. Second best case scenario, if you are brand new, because for me, I've got 200 5-star Google reviews on my bookkeeping business. So I've got some credibility. So people are more likely to trust me potentially versus somebody else who might be a brand new bookkeeper. So I understand not everybody might be able to charge 100% upfront, and that's okay. But eventually, hopefully you get to that point. But in the beginning, as you're just getting started, at the very least, do half and half. Do half when the project is complete, half when the project is started, and half when the project is complete. The one reason I don't like doing that is because that puts you getting paid in the hands of the client. And there are some clients who are just really hard to work with, and there are some clients who drag things out. Think about the type of business owner who hasn't done their bookkeeping for all of 2024. Clearly, they don't take their finances too seriously, or maybe they're struggling to stay organized. So if that's the kind of client you're working with, then do you really want to rely on them to enable you to finish their bookkeeping before you can get paid? I don't like that stress. So just pay me up front. I'll get the project done as fast as I can, and then we can move on. Okay, that's it for my little introduction. How much should you really charge? Hopefully that was helpful. Now, if you have any questions about anything else, You can ask questions about how much you should charge, quoting, onboarding, but you can also ask questions about bookkeeping, QuickBooks Online, sales, marketing, cleanup projects, onboarding, customer service, and everything in between. So I hope that was helpful. Now I'm going to get into the chat and the comments. So if anybody else has any questions, let me know and I will try to get to everybody's questions. I'll be on for the next 45 minutes. Quick 5-second coffee break. All right, McFlash. Oh, first, Alec, good morning. McFlash, how many hours do you work a week and what software do you use? 30 minutes per client per week. And I use QuickBooks Online. Alec, what QuickBooks subscription plan do you recommend to small businesses moving to QuickBooks? I generally like Essentials. Simple Start is okay, but it's really basic. Essentials is right in the middle. I think it's $60, maybe $65 per month. QuickBooks Plus, you only really need Plus if you need class tracking or project tracking. But QuickBooks Essentials, you can get almost everything done. Allie, hey Zach, really appreciate the resources you're putting out. My question is, do you book manual journal entries for your clients, such as amortizing prepaid expenses, or is it 100% cash basis? I have 3 clients who I do unearned revenue and prepaid expenses for. The vast majority of my clients are all cash basis. Even the ones who are accrual basis, I still don't have too many journal entries. But yes, I will do prepaid expenses and unearned revenue. The really important thing with journal entries based on prepaid expenses and unearned revenue and things like that, accrued liabilities, you want to make sure that you create a spreadsheet for your reconciliation, because there is no bank statement or credit card statement or loan statement for prepaid expenses or unearned revenue. So you need to have a separate reconciliation spreadsheet. Now that gets pretty complicated and you need to have all the information from the very beginning to make sure it's accurate. But yes, I do those journal entries, but very rarely. And you want to make sure that you have that spreadsheet for the reconciliation. Jose, hi Zach. How to find good clients that are willing to pay a fair price? How do you move out of the $25 per hour client to the $600 flat fee client? Jose, it's a natural progression. So I started out first client, $100 a month, $25 an hour, $200 a month, and then all of a sudden you get a couple clients, $400 a month. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. One client, $600 a month. Oh, this is a huge client. Let me try something. $750 a month. Wow, they accepted my quote. Oh, that's a lot of work. This client's really big. They're only paying $400 a month. I have another client who's smaller and they're paying $750 a month. I'm going to increase this client to $550. It honestly just happens naturally. You just start to get more clients. It's all a numbers game. Sales, it's all a numbers game. So in order to get your first client, you have to talk to 1,000 people. In order to book your first meeting, you got to talk to 1,000 people. And then all of a sudden you book 10 meetings. And then 3 people accept your quote after 10 meetings. And then 1 out of 3 people accept your quote out of those 10 meetings, out of those 3 people who you give a quote to. And then you get 1 client. So 4,000 introductions, 4,000 people you talk to, you get the idea. It's all just a numbers game. And then the same thing with your clients. You get 5 clients and then your average price might be $200. And then you get 10 more clients. And out of those 10 new clients, they're paying on average $350. And then just as you get more clients, you can start gradually charging more and more. So it just happens naturally. You're not going to jump right out of the gate charging $2,000 a month, $200 an hour, but eventually you absolutely can get to the point. Right now, my clients on average pay $560 per month. And so I've got like 75 clients ish paying $560 per month. Let's see. Moises Ortiz, I have 2 weeks since I started up my bookkeeping business. I want to try to use a MailChimp. How is it effective, this tool for getting clients? I'll be honest, I've never used MailChimp. So primarily my method for getting clients is all social media marketing. I just create content, find prospective clients, connect with them, engage with their content, and then send them a message on social media. So I've actually never used MailChimp. I'm assuming you're probably thinking about email marketing. The thing with email marketing, you need to get a list. So somehow you need to get a list of people of business owners. And so the best way to do that is to give out a free tool, but you want to make sure the free tool is really good, really high quality. You don't just want to put out some junky free tool. So that's the problem you have to solve. You have to think, how am I going to come up with a free tool to give out? But then you still need to do marketing and advertising because you still need to get people to download your free tool. So either way, no matter what, you're still doing some type of advertising, some type of marketing. So whether you're just straight up marketing your services or indirectly marketing your free tool so that you can get leads, so that you can add them to your email marketing list. Either way, no matter what, you still need to do marketing and advertising. I think once I realized that, I think it was at that point that I was like, you know what? Instead of trying to promote this free tool, why don't I just promote my bookkeeping services? Like that seems like easier, at least in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe it's not. There's 100 different ways to get bookkeeping clients. Email marketing, I've never tried it. I've never really done it, but I suppose obviously it could work if you get a big list of high quality leads. And then once you get the email marketing, once you get the list, you got to create marketing content to send to your leads list. So as you can see, it's just marketing after marketing after marketing and then sales, sales, sales. That's what business is all about. It's all about getting clients. Honestly, doing the work, like if you were selling a product or selling a service, chances are actually delivering the product and service is not really the hard part. The hard part is getting people to walk in the front door, getting people to answer the phone, getting people to meet with you, getting people to say yes, getting customers, getting clients. ESME 369, do you think visiting businesses around the area to try to meet potential clients is a waste of time? Unfortunately, yes. Here's why. Here's my logic. How long is it going to take you to drive somewhere? Even if you walk down the block, you might be able to meet 2 or 3 business owners in 1 hour. At best, 5, maybe 6. If you can somehow meet a new business owner every 10 minutes, somehow, maybe 6 per hour, absolute best. Here's the flip side. Imagine if you just create content on social media. Let me look at me right now. There's 60 people watching this live video right now, and I'm sitting in the comfort of my own home. And right before this, I was doing work on my computer. Right after this, I'm going to go right back to doing bookkeeping and QuickBooks. So just doing marketing from your computer, from home, you can just reach so many more people so much more efficiently. Imagine you just create a post on Facebook, and even just imagine 100 people see your post. That's still way better than the exposure you might get by visiting people in person. Now, to close a deal, I've got no problems visiting people in person to close a deal, but to try to drum up business and to do cold calling and prospecting, I don't think going door to door is a good idea. Quick coffee break. McFlash, thoughts on Zero? I've got no thoughts. I've never used it, never really thought about it. I've never met a local business owner who uses Zero. And that's just in the United States. I do know different countries are slightly different. Judy, how do you recommend getting started in bookkeeping? I looked at QuickBooks courses and the setup is so confusing. Is there a better way? Judy, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit biased. I have a course. You can check out the course in the description of this video, or you can just watch a ton of free YouTube videos. Either way, you're probably going to learn something. Simon Bradley, just wondering, if it's a shop that sells small items, then there will be many transactions. But if they sell large items, then there won't be as many transactions. Do you charge differently? I do have a minimum. So minimum is $300. But yeah, I've got a company who sells mobile chair lifts, or I've got a company who sells like chairs that go up people's stairs for elderly people. And so they're selling these things for 10,000 bucks. And yeah, they only pay me $250 per month, and their bookkeeping is super, super simple. And they make 100 grand a year. And then I've got another company who does landscaping, and they buy like a ton of flowers and trees and plants, and they only make $45,000 a year, but their bookkeeping is actually more complicated. So really, for me, it does all come down to the number of transactions, because that's what I have to do for bookkeeping. I have to record your transactions. So the more transactions I have to record, the more work it is for me. Peace for all. How do you advertise on Facebook? I advertise on Facebook by creating content. So I actually have a 30-day social media marketing strategy guide that you can download off of my website. It's linked below, harrisburgbookkeeping.com/store. 30-day social media marketing strategy guide. This thing is amazing. I literally tell you exactly what to post and when to post it. It's all about getting started. Getting started is the hardest part. But then you have to be consistent. So you have to get over your fears of putting yourself out there on social media. And you really just have to create content. And in the beginning, it's so easy because everything you're doing is so new. Literally just talk about what you're doing. That's what I've been doing with Zip Capital for the past 9 months. I've just been creating content on social media, just talking about what's happening. Hey, just had a meeting with an interested investor. Hey, just got a new investor, $25,000 investment. Just did a new real estate loan. Here's literally tomorrow. If you guys aren't already, follow me on social media. All of my social media channels are linked below. X, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I post on all those channels. Literally tomorrow, I'm just giving an update on Zip Capital. It's just a picture of a property that one of my investors just flipped and sold. And I just talk like 3 or 4 sentences about what I'm doing and how it's going. It's actually been pretty cool. There's a few people who I've connected with through YouTube and Instagram, and there's a few people who I follow on Facebook who are just like you, who are aspiring bookkeeping owners. And it's been really cool because I've been seeing what they're posting and they're doing exactly what I'm telling them to do. Like I just saw one guy, I forget his name, but he just posted a couple days ago, just got my 6th client, still on track to hit my goal of 25 clients in the next 12 months. And it's just something so simple like that. Like just talk about what's going on, talk about the new clients that you're getting, talk about the new certifications that you're getting, talk about the new bookkeeping reports that you just sent out that like, hey, it's September 10th, just finished all of the August bookkeeping for all of my clients. If you're still waiting on your accountant or your bookkeeper to finish your monthly financial reports and they're not getting back to you, let me know. I deliver fast, good, high quality customer service. So yeah, there's 100 different ways to advertise on Facebook. You just got to do it. You just got to be consistent and put out high quality content and never give up. That's why people fail, because they give up. Just never give up. Let's see, Ali, Google My Business won't allow me to create a listing for a virtual business. They require a brick and mortar location where clients visit. They are asking for video proof. Any way around that? I do think that you can still make your home your place of business. I think you just have to have your home address listed on your LLC documents. And then you do just need to take a video just proving that you live there. So take a video of your mailbox, your address, take a video of your home office. Take a video of your street so they see your house, they see you walking into your house, they see your home office, maybe a utility bill to prove that you own the house. I do think it is possible to have a Google My Business listing at your primary residence if it's a virtual business. Alec, I was offered a referral and wholesale partnership with ADP for payroll services. Have you worked with them and do you recommend I go that route? Alec, yeah, I think it's great. I love ADP. I use AD, so I'm an S corporation for Zip Capital and Harrisburg Bookkeeping. So that means I need to be put on payroll as the owner. So I use ADP to process my payroll. I just run payroll once per month and they charge me $40 per company per month to run payroll and to file my payroll taxes for me and to do my W-2 at the end of the year. So super affordable. ADP is a massive national business. Obviously, they're huge. Their customer service is okay for how big they are. It's pretty good, but they have a ton of resources and they know how to do everything. So local, state, federal, unemployment, they know how to do everything. So ADP is a fine company, and the referral partnership, I think it's okay. I just try. I have a mixed relationship, mixed feelings about these referral partnerships because at the end of the day, what are you making? $100 a month, maybe $300 a month, which is cool for not really doing much work. But I just want to be careful because you don't want to do too much. You don't want to say too many things. And let me give you a really good example. So for me personally, I was a referral partner for PandaDoc and SubMagic. PandaDoc is who I use for electronic documents, and PandaDoc is who I use for subtitles on my short videos. And people were asking me, who do I use? And I was just thinking, might as well become an affiliate so that I can get paid. And so I added these links to my YouTube videos and I started telling people about it. And I made $100 per month. And that was cool. But what I realized was is there's so much more than just $100. You have to think like you're cluttering things. So the descriptions of my YouTube videos, there was 3 extra links, 3 extra things for people to click on, and that was taking away from them for you guys potentially clicking on my full course. And so I was making $100 a month, but psychologically, mentally, visually, I was taking up space, cluttering my offer, and I was potentially losing out on somebody clicking on the $1,200 course that I have for sale just to get that sub magic $599 referral. So yes, it's fine to be an ADP partner. Just be careful. And this goes with anything. Like you can refer savings accounts, credit cards, payroll companies, tax preparers, software. You can be an affiliate for almost anything. But just remember that you start to confuse people, you start to clutter your offer, and you just start to do too much, and it just becomes overwhelming. And I think it could potentially take away from your core offer. So just keep in mind, what is my core offer? And I think you're better off just sticking to that and try not to do too much else. At least that's my opinion. Okay, Coastal Pink. Is there an easy way to track job supplies and materials for a lawn care business? There are multiple receipts I handle in a day's time every day. Just curious. So QuickBooks has project tracking. So every time you record a transaction, you have to say, who did you pay? Home Depot or Walmart. What did you buy? Advertising and marketing, office supplies, job supplies, cost of goods sold, inventory. What did you buy is the expense account or the chart of accounts. So who did you pay? What did you buy? Those are the 2 things you need to know for simple traditional bookkeeping. But you can take it a step further. Who did you pay? What did you buy? Now, what project does that get allocated to? And with QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Plus, you can set up project tracking. So now not only are you saying who did you pay, what did you buy, there's a third variable, which project does this go to? 123 Main Street, 5 Pennsylvania Avenue, John Smith's backyard, John Smith project, Mark Allen project. You see what I'm saying? Project tracking. But that's what I was talking about in the beginning. I charge more for project tracking. I charge $4 per transaction for project tracking, and that gets pretty complicated. There's a lot to keep up with when it comes to project tracking. All right, Marion McNaughton, you said you charge $4 per hour for class tracking, project tracking, and match. I missed that. I charge $4 per transaction on average per month. So my monthly fee does not change. So I say $4 per month, $4 per transaction. So that does not mean if you had $100 last month, I'm charging if you had 100 transactions last month, I'm charging $400. If you had 200 transactions last month, I'm charging $800. That's not what I mean. I'm looking at your average number of transactions, and then that is your fixed monthly rate. So average number of transactions times $4 is your average monthly rate. And do you require clients to use credit cards, or do you accept paper receipts? Do you require clients to use, do you accept paper receipts? So I'm not really sure, Marion, what you're asking. So if you could clarify that second question a little bit, that would be helpful. Are you talking about matching receipts to their transactions, or are you talking about your clients paying for your services? So if you could just please clarify that for me. 365 Mobile. Will getting my associate's degree in accounting give me enough knowledge to start a bookkeeping company? No, and it's not necessary. I'm not going to say I'm not going to deter anybody from getting an education, but I do want to let you know that you don't need to. You could do it simultaneously. Start your bookkeeping business and pursue your associate's degree simultaneously. Here's what you need to know. Bookkeeping fundamentals, accounting concepts. You need to understand assets, liabilities, equity, balance sheet, income statement, expenses, income, accounts payable, accounts receivable, debits and credits, and how all of those things work together. If you can understand those basic bookkeeping fundamentals and accounting concepts, then you have enough knowledge to get started as a bookkeeper. But I definitely think that you don't have to wait until you get your associate's degree or your accounting degree. Start your bookkeeping business now. Watch YouTube videos, watch QuickBooks tutorials, take my course if you want, learn bookkeeping fundamentals, start marketing and selling now, because it's going to take you 30 to 90 days to get your first client. So start marketing and sales today, immediately. Everybody, if you haven't started already, start selling today. Start marketing today. Create your Facebook page, create your website, register your LLC, get started today. That's my number one advice for everybody. Yes, learn bookkeeping fundamentals. I'm not telling you to be a bookkeeper with zero bookkeeping knowledge. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you can get started as a bookkeeper without any experience or any knowledge, but you have to learn bookkeeping fundamentals. I just want to be clear. You have to learn bookkeeping fundamentals and accounting concepts, but you can do things simultaneously. You can start marketing and selling and learn bookkeeping at the same time. Erica, feel like new clients don't feel like my services are worth it. People don't value me because I'm a Black woman, honestly, doing this for 10 years and yet feel like I have to prove something. Frustrating. So Erica, I would say just focus on what I talked about in the beginning. You are alleviating people's stress. You are reducing people's anxiety. You are solving problems. The problem is they need to file their taxes, but they can't because they don't have financial reports. And they don't have financial reports because their transactions have not been categorized. So there are going to be clients who don't want to hire you. Sales is just a numbers game. It's a numbers game. You have to talk to 1,000 people. You have to book 50 meetings. You have to send 25 quotes in order to get 3 clients. So it's just a numbers game. It's all about volume. You have to talk to more people and do more sales calls and create more marketing content. Simon Bradley, thanks for the answer, Zach. Makes sense. It's the number of transactions that determine the price, irrespective of their own revenue, balances out in a way that it's cheaper for small businesses. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I will look at their revenue and their profit. If they're profiting $20,000 per year, I might quote them a little bit differently than if they're profiting $2 million per year. So that's why I love getting the QuickBooks invitation, because you can see their profit and loss. And cheat code, hack, you can also see what they paid their previous bookkeeper. No shame. Don't be afraid. Look to see what they were paying their previous bookkeeper. Number one hack that you can do when you're quoting somebody and you get invited to their QuickBooks. And you can just do that by looking at their P&L. Look at their legal and professional services. Click on the number and see the details. Faith, make your home address not visible and you will be approved. There you go. Appreciate that, Faith. Simon, very glad you're still doing the bookkeeping stuff for us, Zach. Simon, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be making these videos. And I like doing these lives because I want to hear your questions. My goal is to help you. So seriously, whatever questions you have, ask your questions and I'll do my best to answer your questions. And if you've already asked a question and you feel like I didn't do a good job of answering, just ask your question more specifically. Ask it in more detail, and I'll do my best to answer your question in more detail. All right, we got 15 more minutes. Grayson, how do you find your starting point for cleanup projects? Do you match accounts in QuickBooks with bank statements and tax returns? Starting cleanup projects. That could be a whole hour-long video in and of itself. Okay, starting cleanup projects. It's going to happen in the bank feed. You want to make sure that you have the bank account and the credit card connected in the bank feed. You want to make sure you have all the bank statements, all the credit card statements. And you want to make sure your accounts are reconciled from the point that you're starting. So if you're starting in a 2024 bookkeeping cleanup, you want to make sure December 2023 is reconciled. So ask for the December 2023 bank statement. Make sure the accounts are reconciled. If they aren't, that's a conversation with the business owner. Hey, your balance sheet as of 12/31/23 is showing $50,000 in your bank account, but your bank statement's only showing $10,000. So there's a really big difference in 2023. So just keep that in mind. So make sure the accounts are reconciled from the point that you're starting and then just go to the bank feed and just start categorizing transactions. Send a list of questions to your client in the beginning. So, bank deposits, ask them, is this all income or is some of this owner's investment, owner's equity, your own personal money put into the business? Or is some of this a line of credit or a loan that you got? Or is it just all income? And then potentially you could just match all the bank deposits as income. Or are you tracking accounts receivable in QuickBooks? So that's something you can look at. Check to see if they're tracking accounts receivable in QuickBooks. Check to see if you need to, instead of recording bank deposits as income, you might actually need to match bank deposits to sales receipts. So that's a very important distinction. Look at that in the beginning. Look at checks. If they have a large number of checks, check their bank statements to see if the check image is at the bottom of the bank statement. If it's at the bottom of the bank statement, then you'll be able to record the checks on your own without asking questions. Or if you get view only access to their bank account, then you can look up the check images in their online banking portal and you can record the checks without asking questions. If you don't have either of those two things, you need to ask questions. You need to send a list of all the checks. Same thing with ACH transfers, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, and wire transfers. If they have a lot of these transactions, export them into an Excel spreadsheet and send a list of questions early to your client. That way it gives them time to answer all of your questions while you work through the debit card and the credit card transactions. Marion, yes. Do you accept paper receipts that you then have to enter them and categorize them? No, I don't accept any paper. Don't send me paper bank statements, paper receipts. I operate out of my home office. I don't have a lot of space to handle paper from anybody. So I require all of my clients to digitally scan receipts and upload them to Microsoft OneDrive, Dropbox, or Google Drive, or some other cloud software. 365 Mobile, thank you. Appreciate all the information you provide and love watching these lives. Hey, I'm here for you. I'm here to make these videos to help you and to share my information. Faith, can I start with the DBA through my LLC? I don't really know. I don't really know much about DBA and LLC. I'm not a big fan. I just like to keep things clean and simple. It's really easy to start a separate company. It's pretty affordable, maybe $100, maybe $200 to register your LLC. It takes 2 weeks for the paperwork to come back. Honestly, in my opinion, I would just start a new company and just keep things clean from the beginning. Madeline, I'm an enrolled agent and already do taxes and bookkeeping, but would like to concentrate mainly on bookkeeping for stable income and less stress during tax season. Exactly, Madeline. That's what I'm talking about. I encourage everybody to do bookkeeping because taxes is stressful. Taxes is just one time per year. You're slammed in March and April, September, October, and then you don't have that consistent work throughout the year. How do you recommend I transition to just bookkeeping? That's probably going to be pretty easy. I mean, your current clients, you probably have to continue servicing your current clients, but just every new client that you get, just let them know, like, I only do bookkeeping. You're going to have to change your website, change your social media. Instead of calling yourself a tax accountant or a tax preparer, just refer to yourself as a bookkeeper. You could absolutely be an enrolled agent and be classified as a bookkeeper. Categorize yourself, label yourself as a bookkeeper. Listen, there's no shame. There's nothing to be embarrassed of. And I'm speaking to myself 5 years ago. I was embarrassed. I felt like I wasn't good enough. So I called myself an accountant because I felt like bookkeeper was lame and bookkeeper wasn't prestigious enough. But then I started making $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $40,000 a month. And I quickly realized, wait a second, the label that I give myself is that's not my value. That my value is the services that I provide to my clients. And I do a really good job of doing bookkeeping, and my services are super valuable. My services are super important. Having a good bookkeeper is tremendously valuable. So don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed to label yourself as a bookkeeper because bookkeepers are very smart, very important, very necessary, very vital aspects to the team. So don't be afraid to call yourself a bookkeeper. Just rebrand your website and your social media. Any new clients that you get, just tell them I just do bookkeeping. Let's see. Kim Sawyers, what's the average salary of your clients? Do you have a minimum salary requirement for your potential clients? Kim, I don't really understand that question. The average salary of my clients. So people's salary totally depends on their business and what they do and how much money they make. So if they're an S Corp, as the owner of the company, they have to pay themselves a reasonable salary. But if they're not an S Corp, business owners don't have to pay themselves a salary. So I don't really totally understand your question. Let's see. Erica, thank you for answering. You're welcome. Jose, why don't you outsource the rudimentary work and work more on a supervisory basis? Jose, that is the $1,000,000 question. I have struggled with that for a long time. So here's my two options. I could do bookkeeping for 80 clients and I can make $40,000 per month, and I could work 40 to 50 hours per week, and I could be totally self-sufficient, 100% quality control. I'm doing all the work. I know exactly what's happening. I thought about doing that. That's what I'm doing. The other option is that I hire 3 bookkeepers and pay them each $5,000 per month, and then I could profit $25,000 per month, and I could just manage those 3 bookkeepers. That's a very good idea. But here is my biggest fear. I hire somebody. This is every small business owner's fear. This isn't just me. This isn't just bookkeeping. This is everybody's fear. I hire somebody and then they quit. And I spent 3 months training them, and I got 5 more clients to feed the new employee, and then they quit. And now I've got 85 clients, and now I'm all alone, and now I'm back to square one. And then I repeat that process. So that's why I didn't do it, out of a fear mindset of losing my client, losing my employees. Now, of course, I know what you're thinking, like that's not a very smart way to operate. You can't operate out of fear. But I had to decide, like, what do I want? Do I want to work by myself and make $40,000 a year, or do I want to grow my accounting business into a 10-person team and make $80,000 per month? Sorry, did I say 40,000 per year? 40,000 per month. Work alone and make 40K per month, or manage 10 employees and make 80,000 a month, 100,000 a month. I was pretty happy with just making $40,000 per month. So I guess it all depends on what you, and then also last thing, managing other bookkeepers is a totally different job than doing bookkeeping. And I just wasn't sure that I wanted to recruit, train, and manage bookkeepers. I'm still not sure if that's what I want to do. It's a totally different job. I was satisfied with just doing the bookkeeping, and I still am. I don't mind. I love bookkeeping. I don't mind doing the bookkeeping. I make really good money doing it. I'm totally self-sufficient. I don't rely on anybody. I don't have to check the work. I don't have to control the quality. I don't have to train people. I don't have to recruit people. I don't have to fire people. I don't have to manage office drama. I don't have to worry about people calling off or holidays or sick days. I just do all the work all by myself, and I love doing it. So for now, it's working really well. 10 years from now, who knows? Maybe things will change, but for now, things are going really well. All right, Alec, let's see. How do you find the ESME 369? How did you find the accountant that you refer your clients to? LinkedIn. Just look for local CPAs, local accounting firms on LinkedIn. Here's the key though. You want to make sure that don't partner with an accounting firm. Don't partner with somebody who offers bookkeeping. You need to find a solo entrepreneur, owner operator who just does bookkeeping or just does taxes. Sorry. Faith, thank you. I agree as well. Just open a new LLC. Alec, thank you for answering my questions. I really enjoy the streaming format. Alec, I appreciate that. Thanks for your feedback. If anybody else likes this format, let me know. Give me a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the chat. Let me know what you think. A couple more questions, then we're going to hop off. Johnny, what's your preference for payroll? Do you prefer when it's in QBO? I hate QuickBooks Online payroll. I think it's terrible. I hate QuickBooks Online payroll. I think it's terrible. I actually strongly encourage all my clients to not use QuickBooks payroll. I recommend they use ADP, Gusto, or a small local specialized payroll company. Do you book the payroll entries, or do you so when it comes to booking payroll entries, I don't do anything with payroll liabilities. I don't do anything with payroll liabilities. I only book payroll taxes. So if people pay for their payroll taxes, there's typically employee taxes and employer taxes. So what I will do is I will split payroll taxes between employee and employer taxes. Employee taxes are just wages. Employer taxes are actually payroll taxes. That's the only thing that I do with payroll. How do you manage 80 clients per month? That is average hours per client, length of your average day. Do you work on weekends? Yes, I work on weekends. I work in the morning. I wake up at 5 a.m. every day, work until 5 p.m. I work for 2 or 3 hours on the weekend. My wife does an amazing job of managing our family and our household. I work a lot. I spend about 40 hours a week just doing bookkeeping, and then I spend time marketing and selling. And then I also spend about 10 hours a week growing Zip Capital. So I do work a lot. And that's the cool thing about being a business owner, being an entrepreneur. You can choose. Do you want to work 60 hours a week and make $1 million? Or do you want to work 10 hours a week and make $200,000? The choice is totally up to you. So you can work as much as you want, or you can work as little as you want. Just keep in mind, 30 minutes per week per client, $500 per client. So if you work 10 hours per week, that means you have 20 clients times $500. That means you're making 10,000 bucks per month just working 10 hours per week on the bookkeeping. That doesn't include marketing and sales and administrative tasks. So you're probably making $100,000 a year and working 15 hours a week. All right, Faith. Let's see. Ali Taha. Are you familiar with those services that promise to bring you clients in exchange for a monthly fee? Anybody who's promising anything, I don't believe it. I don't like Fiverr, Upwork, or Thumbtack, or Bark, or I don't like any of those companies. If I was going to spend money on leads, I would just run paid ads myself. I would optimize my website for SEO. I would pay a social media manager. If I'm definitely going to spend money on something, I want to spend money on my own assets. I want to increase the search engine optimization of my own website. I want to improve my online presence on social media. I don't want to pay for leads on Upwork or Fiverr. Faith, this is what I want now. 10 clients a month, consistent income. That's what it's all about, Faith. That's what I'm talking about. Josh, a business owner client uses his business card for almost all personal expenses. How do I proceed here? If it's, have a conversation with the client. Explain to him that what he's doing is not best practice for his business. Encourage him to just use one credit card for personal, one credit card for business. Have that conversation first. And then if he still doesn't do it, then it's up to you to figure out which of these transactions are business and which of these transactions are personal. It might require a weekly email with a list of questions to your client every single time. Hi, Zach. I've been binge watching your videos, learning a lot. Marlene, so happy to hear that. Love helping you guys. Guajardo and Co. What do you do if Facebook starts not letting you send friend requests, either saying you may not know this person or it starts flagging you for spam? Calm down, slow down, don't do so much, spread things out. Delete old pending friend requests. Go into your sent friend requests and delete old unanswered friend requests, and then spread out your friend requests and only send friend requests to people who know you, who you know them based on your mutual friends, and spread it out. Do 5 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, and 10 in the evening. Try to spread it out. Turmoil. I quit my job as a bin man and I'm about to complete my level 2 accounting course, and you have inspired me to go self-employed. I took your advice to get QuickBooks certified. Let's go, Turmoil. Congratulations. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're here for. We are inspiring the next generation of bookkeepers. I am so proud of you. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. Alec, if you decide to hire remote employees, I'd be interested. I appreciate that, Alec. That's great to know. MB, thanks for answering my questions. Love this format, by the way. Appreciate you. DFOS, hi, Zach. Just started my bookkeeping side gig, hoping to make enough to invest in Zip Capital. Let's go. Appreciate the plug. This video is sponsored by Zip Capital. So if you want to earn 8% up to 12% fixed annual returns, let me know. I love to chat. There's a link in the description of this video where you can register to learn more about my investment fund, Zip Capital. Faith. Gale Courses offers free SEO online classes to optimize your website. Great. Love that. Jose, Upwork is horrible. I agree. Not a big fan. Guajardo, thanks. Jaden, hey, Zach, how do you handle client receipts? I don't handle client receipts. I encourage my clients to keep their own receipts, but I don't require they send them to me. I don't upload them to QuickBooks unless they are insistent on me attaching their receipts to QuickBooks transactions. In that case, I'm going to charge an extra dollar per transaction. So if I'm charging you $300 per month, I'm probably going to charge you an extra $100 at least to match receipts. It's a beast. It's a bear to match receipts to QuickBooks transactions. It requires a lot more work. All right, that's it for the video, everybody. Thank you all so much. Check out all the links in the description of this video. I've got a full course, teaches you everything you need to know: QuickBooks Online, bookkeeping, sales, marketing, customer service, cleanup projects, onboarding, quoting. Check out the course. Check out my digital downloads. Join my Facebook group. Follow me on social media. Consider investing in Zip Capital. Join me every Monday at 3 p.m. for live private group meetings. Thank you all so much. I'll see you all in the next video.